Good. So we're going to review some questions you guys have about the homework real quick. Number 25, it says that the line passes through, what is it? 2, 4, is that right?
Yeah, 2, 4.
Oh, and the x-intercept is negative 2. This is tricky.
No, it's not.
No? Okay. Well, it's tricky to me, like, a little bit. Huh?
Like if you read it, you're
Yeah, like when you read it, we're not usually given that group of information. Like often they'll give you a slope and a point, or they'll give you like a slope and a y-intercept, but not usually the x-intercept, right? And actually, well, check this out. Sometimes, Eminem, when I don't know what to do, here's a really good idea. Is like you don't start thinking about, well, what do I do? You just start thinking about what do you know. So don't start off going like, oh, I don't know what to do. That's okay. Like, I don't know what to do yet either. Like, really, I have no idea what to do.
Same.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just start with what I know. I know that's the x-intercept. So that gives me a point of 0, negative 2. Do you see? Oh, I hate my life. Yes.
Do you want some white out?
Oh, no. Yeah. So I apologize. You're right, though, Alex. It's negative 2, 0. Okay? And now I know what to do. Because look, I have 2 points, right? I have to write the equation of the line. I know my answer is going to be like this, correct? Y equals mx plus b. And so to write the equation of the line, you've got to find 2 things. You've got to find the slope, and you've got to find the y-intercept. You need both of those. And so what we have is we have 2 points, and that's all you need. With 2 points, you can find the slope. So let's find the slope first.
I have a question before we move any further.
Yeah?
For the x-intercept, is it always going to have a 0?
Well, man, I don't have those notes from last week, but yeah, remember we put it in a big box and we highlighted it because it's a piece of key information. The x-intercept, y always equals 0 for the x-intercept.
Okay.
Yeah. Glad you asked. Actually, that's one of the things that makes this kind of tricky, is you have to use the information in ways that you can't always anticipate. And so you have to do a lot of problem solving. Right? So yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So then, remember, it doesn't matter which one of these you use for first. This one you could use first, or the negative 2, 0. So let's start with this one first. So 0 minus 4 over negative 2 minus 2. Did I do that right? See, that's 0. Okay, and then minus 4. Okay, that part's good. Negative 2, and then minus 2. Yep, that's right. Do you know why I slowed down right there, Jackie? To make sure? Well, because, I don't know, I just wanted, like, math is like dating. You just gotta take your time. And I just wanted to double check I plugged everything right into the formula. So this is going to be negative 4 over negative 4. Is that right? I mean, I'm kind of like, I think I'm getting sick, so I don't feel very good, and I'm really worried I'm going to make a dumb mistake. Happens, right? Okay, so I'm just being careful. 1. Okay. Negative divided by negative is positive. So I know my slope is 1, so that's 1. So y equals 1 times x plus b. So we got that part down. Now we just need to find the y-intercept. All right. I like the way that I showed you guys last class. The book has this formula, and I used to teach this formula. It's called the point slope formula. Whereas if you have a point, like, you know, a point and a slope, you can plug it in. But this is even easier. If you just take y equals mx plus b, and you plug in an x and a y, so like, let's use this one because it's got a 0. So 0 equals 1 times negative 2 plus b. All you got to do is solve for b. Hi, Priscilla. And then you're done. So 2 equals b. Yeah? Is that right, Alex?
Yeah.
So then my answer, all right, we found that the slope was 1. And now we found that the y-intercept was 2. So my answer is y equals 1x plus 2. But normally you won't write the 1. Usually you write this. Either one is fine. They're the same. So, how you doing, Carlos?
Good.
Good. Isaac? Isaac? Carlos, check this out. When I saw this problem, I was kind of surprised because it gave me the X-intercept and I wasn't really quite sure what to do yet. So then, just to refresh our memory, like all the steps weren't what made it happen. What made me answer it was I just wrote down something I knew. I knew if I had an X-intercept that I had a coordinate. And as soon as I wrote it, I'm like, oh, I have 2 coordinates. If you have 2 points, then you can use the slope formula. And if you can find the slope and you have a point, then you can plug those in into the y equals mx plus b, and you can find the y-intercept. So yeah. Dang, that's a good question right there. That was a good question, Sam. Oh, there you are. I don't like this setup. This is a horrible setup. Right? Eminem likes it because she doesn't have to look at me.
I love it. When I close my eyes, I love it.
Wow. Okay.
It was like Christmas Day.
Eminem, you had another question too, right?
Yes, I did.
Which one?
I wasn't understanding number 13.
Okay, so let's talk about number 13. Same section, 3.3. 3.3.
Keep through.
Number 13. Number 13?
Yes, sir.
Number 13. Whoa, it's getting all funky again. All right. So for number 13, we still have to do the same thing. We have to write the equation of the line, right? But for number 13, here's the information it gives us. Negative 2/3 for the slope, and it gives us a point. It says it passes through, 6, comma, negative 2. Did I write it all right? Is that what it says? Yeah. Okay. So Eminem, what about this one confused you?
I wasn't understanding like what I had to do exactly.
Okay, what does it want you to do? What's it asking you to do? Like for the instructions.
Well, it was asking for the point slope.
Yeah, it's asking the point slope form of the equation that has this information, right? So there's some line out there, there's some graph that goes through 6, negative 2, that's right there, and has a slope of negative 2/3, so it's going to look something like this, right? And it's asking us for its equation. But this is all the information we are given. So we need that. Nice part, right? Nice part? Oh, huh. You see what I did? What's wrong with what I wrote?
It's y to be
That should be m, right? That's slope, not y. Duh. I did it because I'm sad because Sonia's not here. Okay. Yeah, Sophia. Okay. So we have part of the answer. Do you see, Eminem? We have this part of the answer. So that's going to go right there. So I know it's going to be y equals negative 2/3 x and then plus b. So all I got to do is figure out what the b is. Do you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Hey, what's y? That's right. And what's x? When y is negative 2, what's x? Do you see? Here's what you're going to do. Y is negative 2, so I'll do it over here so there's more room. So y is negative 2. The slope is negative 2/3. X is 6, and you got to solve for b. That's it. Multiply, reduce, right? Put a 1 under it. That's negative 2 equals negative 4 plus b. So b is 2. So then your answer? Alex, did you get that? Or did you do that one?
No.
Sam, I don't know why you're surprised.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. Of course you got it.
Can we do number 26?
We can. We can. I know you're dying to do number 26, right? But before we do number 26, here's the thing I want to make sure. Eminem, I want to make sure that you understand. Man, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Here's the situation with all of these problems. The whole situation. For all of them, they're asking you for an equation, y equals mx plus b, right? And they're going to give you different information, and you have to figure out what the slope is, and you have to figure out what the y-intercept is. How you do that depends on the situation. It depends on the information it gives you. Yeah. So sometimes they give you an x and a y like they did here. That makes life really not too bad because they gave you the slope. But sometimes they don't give you the slope at all. And then you have to use the slope formula. It just depends on the information they give you. Yeah. Okay. Now, 26, Alex? All right, number 26. Still chapter 3.3. 26. So it passes through the point, the line we have passes through that point, right? And it has an x-intercept, -1. That's I'll write out what it is in words. So the point we have is this. And the x-intercept, that's exactly what it says, right? Equals -1. Are you tired, Jackie? Again, that's 2 days in a row. Okay, Jackie. Jackie, you know that Swiss cheese has holes in it? And the holes are not cheese, right? They're just holes. There's air. Right. So the more Swiss cheese you have, the more holes you have. So that holes are not cheese, right? So the more holes you have, the more not cheese you have. So the more Swiss cheese you have, the more not cheese you have. Okay. Got it. Makes perfect sense. Now that's confusing. This isn't that confusing. That's confusing. Right? Rachel, that's pretty confusing, right? The more Swiss cheese you have, the less Swiss cheese you have. Oh no. We got this. This is just new. We can handle this. Check this out. I guess this is my piece of advice for you.
Before you buy Swiss cheese.
Don't buy Swiss.
Yeah, don't buy Swiss cheese. Before you start trying to solve, trying to solve or answer, this is a big idea. Spend time understanding the question. It seems obvious, right? It seems obvious that you got to understand the question before you can come up with the answer, right? But here's what happens, especially at this level of math. Students see stuff, they're like, oh, what are the steps? They start following the steps, and then when they're done, they're like, oh, I answered it. You guys think this is not proper thinking. You think that when the steps are done, right? You think when the steps are done, you've answered the question. But that's not true at all. What if you were doing the wrong steps? Then you didn't answer the question. Well, here's my point. Well, even checking your work doesn't. You have to go before you even pick up your pencil or pen. You have to make sure you understand what's being asked. And then you have to understand what information do I have that can help me answer that question. You have to do those two things before you can even work. So this is this is the first thing you got to do. Okay? Before you start, you got to make sure you understand what question's being asked. And then the second thing you got to do, where can I write this? You have to figure out what information do you have. This is fantastic advice right here, Priscilla. What information do you have to answer the question? So Eminem, the reason that you got really confused on these is because, if you know the steps, You're really good at studying the steps and just following them, and you got that, right? But this is what you have to do, and it's different. So Alex, the reason these are really important for these kinds of problems, you don't know what information they're going to give you. Because depending on the combination of these two things, that's what tells you what to do. You should. You should. Priscilla, do you understand the point I'm trying to make? It seems obvious. Like in real life, like outside of school, I think that would be really important, right? In fact, we've all talked to people who answer your questions before you ask them, and it drives me crazy.
That's annoying.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, people that, we all do it sometimes because we're excited or something, right? And you're talking to somebody and you think you know what they're going to say. We all do it sometimes, but some people do it all the time because they don't listen. And since they don't listen, they don't understand what you're saying. And this is similar. If you start trying to answer before you understand the question, you're doing that. You're trying to answer before you know the question, so you're not listening. So you got to understand the question first, and then you got to figure out what information does it ask you. So these questions, all of these questions on the entire page, they're all asking you for the equation of the line. They're asking you to figure out what is the slope and what is the y-intercept. All of them, right? It says that in English right there. You guys are lucky, because when I was a kid, when I was taking math classes in college, all the instructions were in Hebrew. I don't speak Hebrew. I don't read Hebrew. I have no idea. Now they're in English, so you guys can all read and write in English. That's good. You're lucky. Yeah.
Is it on stone too?
Huh?
Is it on stone too?
Uh-huh. And we had to walk uphill to school both ways, and we didn't even have feet back then. Yeah. It was hardcore. We were savages.
How old are you?
Well, I live forever because I live on the fears and frustrations of students. Yeah. Okay, Priscilla, check this out. The only thing I have right now, the only information we have right here, Sam, do you see? The only thing we have is we have an X and we have a Y. We don't, and when you write your answer, you don't write the numbers, right? But we do know what one ordered pair is. We know what one solution is. We know that X is 1 when Y is -3. All right. And we know the X-intercept. Alex, what does Y always equal for an X-intercept?
0.
Try it. So this is the same thing as -1, 0.
Correct.
Holy moly guacamole, we have 2. I know why this one's tricky, Alex. We're getting there. I know why you got stuck on this one.
Well, yeah.
Because it's a vertical line.
Yeah, I was like,
It is. It's a vertical line. So before we get that far though, because Alex, like a lot of people are even having trouble getting this far. Like they're like, why is that a step?
I told Sam that right now. I was like, that one's easier, man. Look, at that.
I'm sorry, I don't get this.
Well, wait. Here's the thing. Like, it's like a puzzle. They give you clues. These are all clues to the answer. There's not steps in a puzzle, right? You have to mess with what you got.
That's true.
I mean, if it's a square puzzle, you find the edges first, right? And then, but after that, there's really not any steps. You just have to work with what you have, and that's what this is. This is a clue, and this is another clue. Blue's clue. Since X-intercept is -1, then I have that point. So now I have 2 points. So you can use the slope formula. Jacobo, we good with this?
Yeah.
So you're gonna find the slope because we need that information and that information. I don't know how to find this yet, but I do know how to find the slope. So, Alex, this is -3 minus 0 over 1 minus -1. Is that right? And it is 1 minus -1. Oh.
Wait, no, I do this.
Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't mess this up. So 3 first, right? So 3 first. Minus 0. Good. And then 1. Oh,
Is it
my.
X2,
Uh-huh.
Y2, or
It doesn't matter which way you do it. Watch, I'll do it the other way, okay? So this one first, okay? So 0 minus -3. Good.
yeah.
-1 minus 1. I take it back, it's not vertical.
It's horizontal.
Nope. This is negative 3 over 2.
Yeah.
This
I got
is
that too.
3 over negative 2. Same thing.
Same thing.
When I was just looking at it and imagining, I was thinking that this would equal 0 down here, and then that would make it a vertical line.
No, no.
We have one of those?
Or it's 0 on top. Or it's the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. So let's do this. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. That's silly of me to think that now that I look. Anyway, Alex. We now have a slope when we have a point. So all we got to do is plug everything in. So let's do that. 0 equals negative 3 over 2 times negative 1 plus b. So that's 0 equals positive 3 over 2 plus b. So negative 3 over 2 equals b. So Jackie, do you see how we got that now, right? Got our y-intercept, and we found our slope a minute ago, and those are the things we need right there and right there. So you just got to write your answer.
Yeah, I got some fractions too for my y-intercepts and stuff.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with fractions.
But I did it like twice, and I was like, oh, I guess it's right here. And then I downloaded that app, that Dismo, whatever.
Yeah.
That shit really helps.
It does help, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can kind of like verify what you're thinking, and it kind of gives you a picture for like all of this stuff. Yeah, so like when you get your answer, you can plug it in, and you can see if your graph matches. Yep.
It's like the best free app I've ever done.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. In fact, here, watch. I'll show you guys. I'll show you this. Eminem, did you use that thing too, or no?
Yeah.
The
I
Desmos?
have it on my phone still.
Oh, okay. So watch. Let me show you how I would use Desmos to check this. What's the matter, Sam? Oh, what's your question?
No.
Oh, what's your question, Rachel? Tell us.
No, it's what I was just saying. Y equals negative 3.
Why what?
X plus negative 3.
Wait, ask me again. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're asking me. I just didn't hear.
Where it says negative 3 half x and then plus negative 3 half.
Oh, you know why? It's the same thing as just minus 3 halves, right? But I'm using pen, and I wrote negative, and then I wrote negative 3 halves, and I couldn't go back and erase either one. So I just made it mathematically correct. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. This is the app, right? And if you have this app, it's really nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug in this. So y equals, let's see, negative 3 divided by 2 times x minus 3, where did it go? Divided by 2. Okay, now. So I typed it in, and this is my graph. Jackie, pay attention. Pay attention, Jackie. Don't let him distract you. He's got this. He's got this, right?
Yes.
But do you?
Yeah. That's the confidence I want in this class.
She lied. It's not, and she knows she lied. That's why she was confident with it. Because if I gave her this problem right here as a pop quiz right now, she'd be like, ooh, I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. Focus, Jackie, focus. So, Jackie, here's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to show you guys how I would use Desmos to see if this answer matched the information. So I plugged that in, right? And I need to make sure that this has a slope that's negative 1, and that it goes through the point 1, negative 3. Okay? So I can do the slope first, easy. Or not x-intercept negative 1, I'm sorry. I misspoke. And I almost confused myself. I said slope negative 1, but it's the x-intercept. And the x-intercept is negative 1. It's right there. Do you see? Right? So the x-intercept's good. That's negative 1. Okay, and now I got to see if it goes through the point 1, negative 3. So let me zoom out. 1 and negative 3 is right. It is there. Oh, let's see. Can you guys see that? Oh, I went too far. Oh, it's there. There. So you see it does have 1, negative 3. Stop. It has 1, negative 3. Nope. Stop it. Has 1, negative 3, no problem, which it gave us right here, right? And we saw a minute ago that it went through negative 1, 0. That's the x-intercept. So that's how I would use this graph, the app, to confirm I got the right answer. So I found the equation of the line that has that y-intercept and that point. Ruth is not my son, but I will raise it.
Oh my god.
That should have been my senior quote.
You guys want to do one more, or are you good? You tell me, is there no other one you're confused with, or would it be more beneficial if I maybe made up a question and had you guys try it? You tell me. What do you think? Let's